During the house fire, my mother saved everyone, but left me trapped with the dog. I still remember the smell. Not the fire at first, but something sweeter, like burnt sugar. That's what woke me up. I opened my eyes slowly, confused, my room glowing a strange orange. For a second, I thought it was sunrise. Then I heard it, crackling, loud, aggressive. Fire. I shot up in bed, heart racing. "Mom?" I called out. No answer. Just the sound of something collapsing downstairs. My chest tightened. This wasn't a small kitchen accident. This was real. I jumped out of bed, grabbing my phone from the nightstand. No signal, of course. I tried to open my door, and heat slammed into me like a wall. I gasped, stumbling back. The hallway was already filled with thick black smoke, curling into my room like it was alive. "Mom?" Still nothing. That's when I heard barking. Loud, panicked, desperate. Rocky? My dog. He was downstairs. I froze. For a second, just 1 second, I thought, she'll get him. Mom will get him. She always said Rocky was part of the family, right? But then I heard something else. The front door slamming shut. My stomach dropped. No. I ran to the window and shoved it open, coughing as smoke followed me. Cold air hit my face, and I leaned out. And there they were. My mother, my stepdad, my little brother. All standing outside, safe, alive, together. My mom looked up, and our eyes met. I'll never forget that moment. There was no panic in her face, no shock, no sudden scream of, "My daughter!" She just stared, like she was deciding something. "Mom!" I screamed. "I'm still up here!" She didn't move, didn't run inside, didn't even shout back. Instead, she turned her head and pulled my brother closer to her, like she had already made peace with leaving me there. My hands started shaking. "Mom?" Still nothing. Behind me, the barking got louder. Rocky. He was trapped too. And suddenly, something snapped inside me. Fine. If she wasn't coming back for me, I wasn't going to wait. I grabbed a hoodie, wrapped it around my face, and ran for the door again. The heat was worse this time. The smoke thicker. I could barely see. "Rocky!" I shouted, forcing myself into the hallway. Every step felt like walking into fire itself. My lungs burned. My eyes watered so badly, everything blurred. But I kept moving. Down the stairs, 1 step at a time. Halfway down, I slipped, grabbing the railing just in time to stop myself from falling straight into flames licking up from the living room. The fire had spread fast. Too fast. This didn't feel like an accident. "Rocky!" A whimper answered me. I turned toward the sound, crawling now, staying low like I'd seen in movies. And then I saw him. Curled up in the corner, shaking, his fur lit orange by the fire creeping closer. Hey, it's okay," I whispered, my voice cracking. He looked at me like I was his last hope. And maybe I was. I crawled over, pulling him into my arms. He was heavier than I remembered. Or maybe I was just weaker now. "We're getting out," I told him. "I promise." But even as I said it, I wasn't sure how. The front door was blocked. The windows downstairs were sealed tight, and the fire was closing in. I turned back toward the stairs, and that's when I heard it. A loud crack. The ceiling above me groaned. Pieces of burning wood started falling. The house was giving up, and so was time. Before I tell you what I did next, tell me, what time is it for you right now? And where are you watching from? I'm honestly curious, because what happened next still doesn't feel real. The stairs behind me suddenly burst into flames. My only way back up? Gone. My only way out? Unclear. And outside, my mother was still standing there, watching, not moving, not helping, just waiting. With the stairs collapsing and fire surrounding us, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't just a fire, and I might not have been meant to survive it. The first thing I realized, no one was coming back for me. Not the neighbors gathering outside, not the firefighters. There were none yet. And definitely not my mother. The second thing, if I didn't move now, I was going to die in that house. Okay, I whispered, holding Rocky tighter as he trembled in my arms. We're not dying here. Not today. He whimpered, pressing his face into my chest. I looked around, forcing my brain to work through the panic. Front door? Blocked by flames. Stairs? Gone. Kitchen window? Maybe. It was my only option. Come on, I said, dragging myself up and moving low across the floor, coughing as smoke filled my lungs. Every breath felt like inhaling fire. The heat was unbearable now. My skin stung like it was peeling off. Halfway to the kitchen, something exploded behind me. I screamed, instinctively ducking as shards of something, glass, flew across the room. The TV. It had burst. Great, I choked out, a hysterical laugh slipping through. Just great. Let's add that to the situation. Rocky barked weakly, like he agreed this was the worst plan ever. Yeah, I know, I muttered. Next time, you pick the escape route. I don't know why I joked. Maybe because if I didn't, I'd start screaming and never stop. We finally reached the kitchen. The window was there. Small, but maybe big enough. I set Rocky down gently. Stay, just for a second. He didn't like that. Not one bit. Rocky, I need you to trust me, okay? His ears flattened, but he stayed. Good boy. I grabbed a chair and slammed it into the window. Once. Twice. On the third hit, the glass shattered. Cold air rushed in like a miracle. I almost cried. Okay, we're getting out. I turned back, scooping Rocky into my arms again. But then, I froze. There was something wrong. Very wrong. The fire? It wasn't random. It wasn't just spreading. It was centered, starting from the living room, where the old heater was. The same heater my mom had been complaining about for weeks. The same one she said was dangerous. My stomach twisted. No, that didn't mean... Another memory hit me. Her voice, just yesterday. We really should replace that heater. It could start a fire. At the time, it sounded like concern. Now, it sounded like a warning. Or worse, an excuse. My hands started shaking again. Rocky? I whispered. What if this wasn't an accident? He just looked at me, trusting, unaware. Lucky him. Because the thought forming in my head, it was anything but lucky. What if she knew? What if she expected this? What if she made sure everyone got out? Except me? No, I said out loud, shaking my head. That's crazy. But was it? She saw me at the window. She heard me screaming. And she still didn't move. Didn't call for help. Didn't even try. A loud crash snapped me back. Part of the ceiling collapsed behind us, flames roaring higher. Okay, thinking time was over. Survival time. I climbed onto the counter, struggling to balance with Rocky in my arms. "All right, buddy," I said, voice trembling. "This is going to be a little dramatic." He licked my chin. "Yeah, I figured you'd say that." I took a deep breath, well, as deep as the smoke allowed, and pushed him through the broken window first. He landed outside with a yelp. Good boy. Now me. I pulled myself up, ignoring the pain as glass cut into my hands. Halfway through, my hoodie snagged on something. "Are you kidding me?" I panicked, twisting, trying to free myself. The flames were getting closer. Too close. I yanked harder. It tore. I tumbled out of the window, hitting the ground hard beside Rocky. For a second, I just lay there, staring at the sky. Alive. I was actually... "Hey, over here!" Voices. People running toward me. Someone grabbed my arm, pulling me away from the house. "You're okay! You're okay!" I coughed violently, clutching Rocky as he barked beside me. And then I looked up at my mother. She was already looking at me. But this time, her expression wasn't relief. It wasn't guilt. It wasn't even shock. It was annoyance, like I had just ruined something. My heart dropped, because in that moment, I knew. As I lock eyes with my mother outside the burning house, I realize the truth is far worse than I imagined, and she's not happy I made it out alive. I couldn't stop staring at her. Everyone else was rushing around, neighbors shouting, someone calling emergency services, sirens finally echoing in the distance. But all I could see was my mother, standing there, perfectly still, like none of this surprised her, like this was exactly how things were supposed to go. "You're hurt," a woman next to me said, trying to check my hands. "I'm fine," I muttered, pulling away. I wasn't fine, not even close, because something inside me had just shifted. Broken, maybe, or finally clicked into place. I pushed myself up, still holding Rocky, and started walking toward her. Each step felt heavier than the last. My stepdad noticed first. Hey, don't move, you need to sit down." "I'm okay," I said flatly. I stopped right in front of her. Up close, I could see it even clearer. No tears, no panic, no relief. Just that same tight expression. Like I was a problem she didn't expect to deal with. "Why didn't you come back for me?" I asked. My voice didn't shake. That scared me more than anything. She hesitated, just for a second. Then she sighed. Actually sighed. "Oh, don't start," she said quietly. "You made it out, didn't you?" My ears rang. "I was screaming for you," I said. "You saw me." "You were upstairs," she replied, shrugging slightly. "The fire was already too strong. I had to get your brother out." "I get that," I said quickly. "But after? You could have told someone. You could have..." "I thought you were right behind us." The lie came too fast, too clean, too practiced. I just stared at her. "You didn't even call my name," I said. She didn't respond, didn't deny it, didn't explain. And that's when my stepdad stepped in. "Hey, let's not do this right now. This is not the time." "No," I cut him off. "This is exactly the time." My voice rose, finally cracking. "Because I almost died in there, and she just stood outside like it didn't matter." People nearby started to look. Good. Let them. For once, I didn't want this hidden. My mom's eyes hardened. "Lower your voice." "Or what?" I shot back. "You'll leave me behind again?" Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Telling. My little brother clutched her hand tighter. "Mom, what's she talking about?" She didn't answer him. She was still looking at me. And now, there it was, that crack in her mask, just enough for the truth to slip through. "You've always been dramatic," she said under her breath, "always making everything harder than it needs to be." I blinked. That was it? That was her response? "I was trapped in a burning house," I said slowly. "And yet," she replied, glancing briefly at the fire behind me, "here you are." Something inside me went cold. Not angry, not loud. Just done. Completely done. The sirens grew louder as fire trucks pulled up, lights flashing red across everything. One of the firefighters approached me. "Miss, we need to check you for smoke inhalation." "I'm okay," I said again. Then I looked back at her. Really looked. And for the first time, I didn't feel anything. No need for approval, no hope she'd suddenly act like a mother. No confusion. Just clarity. "You didn't think I'd make it out," I said quietly. She didn't answer, but she didn't have to. I nodded once. That was enough. I adjusted Rocky in my arms. He licked my cheek again, like he always did when something was wrong. "Yeah," I whispered to him. "I know." Then I looked back at her one last time. "You don't get to be in my life anymore." Her expression finally changed. Not to guilt, not to sadness, but to irritation. Like I was inconveniencing her. "Don't be ridiculous," she said. I almost laughed. Almost. But I didn't. Because this wasn't funny. This was freedom. "I'm serious," I said. "Whatever this was, whatever you thought was going to happen tonight," I paused, letting the weight of it settle. "It didn't work." Her jaw tightened. Good. I turned away before she could say anything else, before she could twist it, before she could pull me back in. A paramedic guided me toward an ambulance, wrapping a blanket around my shoulders. Rocky curled into my lap as I sat down, shaking now that it was all over. The house burned behind us. Everything inside it? Gone. But strangely, I didn't feel like I lost anything. Because the one thing I almost lost tonight? Myself. I didn't. And as the ambulance doors closed, I realized something I never thought I would. I wasn't the girl she left behind anymore. If you made it this far, you already know this wasn't just about a fire. So tell me, what would you have done in my place? And if this story pulled you in, don't forget to like and subscribe. Because some stories don't just end, they follow you.